this isn't a Native Instruments bashing session. This really is a, hey guys, listen to us. We want you guys to succeed, but work with us.
Max Patel on the beat.
Hey, what's up? It's your man Max Patel back with another video, and this video is actually going to be a two-part video. This first part will be about Native Instruments and why I rock with them. The second part of the video, which will be coming later, is why I want to break away from Pro Tools, but I really can't. And I know you're like, how does that coincide? When I get to the opportunities about Native Instruments, you'll see where they kind of coincide in my case. But before we get started, please show your support for the channel by hitting that like button and that subscribe button, and also clicking that notification bell so you'll know when the next video has been uploaded and ready to drop, so you can be the first one to see it. Alright, let's get on with the show. So I've been doing music since about 96. Yes, I am an old guy. I've been through them all. The original MPCs, Ableton, Reason, rolling samplers and groove boxes. I've done them all, but I haven't had much ease of use than I have had with Maschine and the Komplete Control keyboard. Those aren't the reasons why I rock with Native Instruments. They are huge parts, but there are a lot of other things that I do like about Native Instruments as well. And as I said, a lot of opportunities that they can really build upon to keep their fan base. What I like most about Maschine, Komplete, the whole Native Instruments line that I use, at least, the workflow for me is easy. Rarely have I ever got a chance to just jump into Groovebox or a sampler and get right to work. I'd say probably about a week into Maschine, I pretty much figured it out as far as groups and scenes and patterns and all that. Was there a learning curve? Of course there's a learning curve when you jump into something new. And at that point I was just coming from Reason. So definitely a learning curve, but it was something that I invested my time in, sweat equity if you must. And ever since then I've been a big fan of Native Instruments. Another thing were the sounds that came with it. The sounds in Maschine, whether it's the factory sounds or even if it's the expansion packs or even if it's any of the virtual instruments that you get like Monarch, Massive, or something off Komplete Control. Not Control, but Komplete 13, the ultimate one. Slipped my mind now. But the quality of sounds are really, really good. Probably one of the few times I've had to get rid of some hardware, not only just to make space, but just because the sounds are really, really good. Another thing, the build of the products. As you saw my thumbnail, I got the micro here, got the MK3, and I got the Komplete Control A-Series 49. I've also used the Maschine Plus before, and I'm gonna give my thoughts on that once I get to the opportunities. But the build of these are great. They look absolutely phenomenal. And me personally, I've never had any issues with them as far as, build quality. Even when I had the Maschine MK2, that was great as well. It's something about having a good quality build product, because I'm the type of person that I take care of my equipment, clean them off, dust them off, try to keep them looking brand spanking new at all times. And so for the most part, Native Instruments have been pretty reliable for me. From a software standpoint, not all the way, which we'll get into in a minute, but for what I got going on, it definitely is a great workflow for me. Builder products, like I said, they're great, and this isn't in and out of company themselves, but all the Native Instruments, Machine content creators do a great job of explaining a lot of the features in Machine. I thought about starting to do, some tutorials or whatever, but to be honest with you, it's a lot of great content creators out there, and I feel like, instead of coming to me, you come see some of these other guys who's more well established, because they put out great information. I still may give you a tip or two there. There's actually one that I'm working on that I hadn't seen any of the normal content creators that I look at, they hadn't talked about, but it's something that I've been exploring on Machine that has really helped my workflow, especially when it comes to song arrangement and things of that nature. So be on the lookout for that. Now we come to where the opportunities are. For as good as the company Native Instruments is, can be, there are a lot of opportunities that I would like to see them work on to get to the next level. And believe it or not, Native Instruments, you are in direct competition with Akai. You may act like you're not, but you really are. So there are some things that I would love to see Native Instruments do to get on the level of Akai and really push the competition, because competition brings out the best, not only in people, just in general. Brings out the best in a company, brings out the best in people. So you may not want to compete with Akai or feel like you're in competition, but the community says otherwise. And if you go look at a lot of videos people talking about they left Native Instruments to go over to Akai, Native Instruments, please look at those videos, because we want to see Native Instruments succeed on the same level as Akai. The first thing, and this is really the main thing for me, Native Instruments, listen to your community. Listen to us. If we're asking for things that we want to see in the software, don't just kind of brush it off, because sometimes that's how I do feel. If we say we want, for example, something that I would love to see in Machine would be able to export MP3 files. Another thing, being able to use MP3 files in Machine to chop samples. Something that I would like to see would be being able to use multiple tempos in beat making. I would love to see that. That's something that I used often when I use the MPC. I would love to have that option. Real-time time stretching in Machine. It's just a lot of things that we really want and we hope that we can get. But like I said, it really goes back to you guys are listening to us. And that's something that we really, really, really would like. Another thing, can't lie and say I've thought about using other products as well. One would be the MPC One, because I want a portable sampler. And as I mentioned earlier, I did use the Machine Plus. I used it for about 2 months. And I really wasn't impressed with it in these instances. So really wasn't able to harness the full power of Machine. Number one, because it wasn't stable enough. Secondly, in order to harness the full power of Machine, it really needs to be hooked up to my laptop. And I'd say with the way the Machine is, with the way the Machine Plus is at least, I'd say I could probably harness 1/3 of that power. Everything else with it was still great. Sound, still great. Everything else was great. The build on it is great. Everything with the Machine Plus was fantastic. but I would like to be able to, if I can't fully use all the power in the machine, I would at least like be able to get almost there, because I understand you can only do so much with the machine plus, at least. So I really wasn't too impressed with it, but at the same time, this was Native Instruments' first foray into, you know, a standalone machine. And I kind of look at it as they're building something from the ground up. So I may be talking pretty harshly about it, but it's pretty much just kind of like, you know, look and see what you guys are doing, and then take a look at what Akai's doing, and just put all of that energy and all those resources and the information into the Machine Plus 2. And please make it, please make it an affordable price, because if I'm gonna pay $1,400 for the Machine Plus, paying $1,400 for the Machine Plus, and I can't use it to its full power as I can with the $600, $700 machine, that math is not mathing up for me. So there's just something, it's just another opportunity. If I'm going to buy the Machine Plus, I want it to at least, I don't even want the same equal footing as the Machine MK3. If I'm going to pay $1,400 for it, it needs to be above and beyond. And then another thing that I was looking into getting was probably moving away from Machine and Pro Tools and going with Studio One and using the Atom. My guy Cosmo, shout out to my man Cosmo, talented producer down in Florida, by way of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, by way of Memphis as well. He uses Atom, and I've seen some videos on Atom, and just kind of streamline it, you know, get rid of all that, and just being able to use everything with just the Atom and my MIDI controller. That was really more for the whole Pro Tools part. And like I said, it's how they coincide, because it's a lot of things with Pro Tools that I'm beginning to not like, and I have used Studio One a few times, and I absolutely love it. But it's a lot of things with the Studio One and the Atom that I can see that would be able to, it would be like combining the Machine and Pro Tools, and I'd be able to use that. So that's why I said that's where they come to a head with me. So that's all I got for this video. What do you think about Native Instruments? Let me know it in the comments. Do you agree with what I said? Do you want to add anything more to what I've said? If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll know when new videos are coming, so you'll be up on them as soon as they come up and you can check them out. Till part 2, when I'm talking about Avid and Pro Tools. I'll catch y'all on the next video.